Hello artists! I have a special video for you today. Oh my goodness, look at those fun crayons. If you know Miss Decorah, you know she loves to hand out her fun crayons. So I'm going to show you how to make them, okay, or how I make them. So you can get some fun crayons like I have right here. Confetti, metallic, and regular crayons work just fine. And then we are going to grab some water in a bowl because we don't want that paper. We just want the waxy crayon inside that paper. And I found the easiest way to get rid of that paper is to soak the crayons first. So I'm going to plop in my confetti crayons and let them soak for a little bit. It all depends on how new the crayons are too. So I just bought these ones, so the paper will come off really easily. If you have older crayons, I found some crayons in our art storage room from a long time ago. Those took a long time to soak. But you can see how easily they come off and peel off as soon as you get them in some water. All right, so now I got all of my fun confetti crayons, and I was noticing that, oh my goodness, I have a lot of white ones. I didn't really quite understand, so Miss Decorah wanted to experiment a little bit. While my other crayons soaked in the water, we can experiment. So I have some paper from some special friends that gifted me it, and we are going to experiment. Let's see what this is all about. This white crayon turned blue. There's confetti blue pieces in that one. Let's try this one. There's confetti orange in that one. What color do you think this one? Oh my goodness. So they look white, but there's confetti bits of color inside. I love it. It's so fun. So these will be going into my new crayons for this video, which these crayons will be available for my hybrid students who follow the 3 kind rules during class, right? So I have my metallics all out. I have my confetti ones. I have a couple of the regulars. And here they all are, all beautiful with no paper. Awesome. Now, here is the next step. Molds. Silicone molds. It has to be silicone. See how bendy it is? It's stretchy. That's what we want. It seems like it might melt when I cook it in the oven, but it really doesn't. So you just saw my Lego ones. Here's my hexagon ones for when I did my bee lesson last year. Some heart ones. I have never used these ones. I should use these ones soon. Some Lego pieces. Spooky ghosts. Some donuts, which are super popular this year. My gummy bear crayons, which my Mapledale students love. I hand out only for special occasions. My waffles, which I have rectangle waffles. And then this new one. These are the ones that I'm going to use for this video. I just got these snowflake ones. You can see I used them a little bit already, but they are so beautiful. They're the perfect size. Next, I need for this floppy silicone mold to sit on a sturdy cooking pan. And you can see there's so much crayon wax on that cooking pan. I use that one all the time for my special crayons. This step is where you can have fun and get a little creative. I'm going to break my crayons into little pieces. The tinier, the better, because the tinier they are, the quicker they're going to melt. I want a little bit of this white confetti in all of my snowflakes, so I'm going to add a little bit to each of them. Another fun trick is you can scrape little pieces, like little shavings. I use a potato peeler, and you can scrape these little shavings to get tiny little bits of color, of whatever color you choose, and put them at the bottom of your mold. So they melt quicker, they're littler. It's a really cool effect. I'm going to speed this up though because this takes a while. Ooh, I added some blues and purples. Those are some cool colors. Some pinks. Oh, I added more, way more colors. Lots of my confetti and my metallics. And they are done. I overfilled them because as they melt, they sink to the bottom. So the more, the better. Have them overfill each little shape. Sometimes I even open up the oven and add some more color in, but these ones are pretty deep in this mold. So I'm walking over to my kitchen at home to put them in the oven where you cook your food. This is where Miss Decorah bakes her crayons. All right, so let's see. So I put it on for 210. Sometimes you could do 215. 220 is kind of pushing it. That's when your silicone mold might start to melt. Though online they say 200 is best, but I like the 210 or 215. So I set up a camera to show my oven how they slowly melt. You can see the little bits are melting slowly down into the mold. And again, depending on the mold that you have, you might want to open up the oven when they're almost done to add another broken crayon piece in just to fill up the entire mold, because you can see as they're sinking, it's getting lower and smaller. So if you want to fill up the whole mold, you might have to add a little bit more. But with these ones that Miss Decorah has, these snowflake silicone molds, I don't need to because they're already so deep. And for time, it's all based on judgment. It depends on how many you have or how much crayon you used, what kind of crayon as well. Crayola works best, as other crayons tend to not melt as easily. All right, so I took them out. Mine took about 20 minutes. You can see how they're still liquid, they're still moving, so you don't want to shake it too much. And you want to have an adult help you on this part because the pan gets really hot. Mine are dry. I let mine stand for about an hour or sometimes maybe 2. But you can also put them in the freezer to help them cool off quicker if you're really, really excited to see and reveal them. But if they're still warm, if they're still warm, they're going to break when you pop them out like this. Miss Decorah's popping her first one out. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite part to see and reveal the beautiful color and shape that I get. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. I'm going to move the camera closer so we can see the other ones. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit as well because there's just so many to see. And my hybrid students, you might get one of these if you follow the 3 kind rules at school. Oh my goodness. And as I'm getting them out of the mold, I'm taking my time not to rush. And again, it's super important that these are not warm. They have to be cold or room temperature to pull them out. This is my favorite one. Oh my goodness. My favorite. Because if they're still warm, they're going to break. You don't want them to break because then you got to remelt them in the oven. I've had many of those mistakes. But it's okay to make mistakes, right, Miss Decorah? Yes. I learned from that, so now I know if they're warm, do not take them out. Ah, they're so beautiful. I have so many of them. There's one more step Miss Decorah likes to do. Sandpaper. Any kind of sandpaper really works. Because on the back of them, I'll show you. Let's move some of these bad boys over. On the back of them, they have like an edge. And Miss Decorah does not like it. So sometimes when I'm feeling like a perfectionist, I get some sandpaper out and rub it away. And then that problem just goes away. You don't have to do it too much either. You see Miss Decorah just took less than a second to wipe that first one off. And that's it. That's all there has to do with my crayon making. Now you know the secret to Miss Decorah's fun, beautiful crayons. All right, friends. I'm excited to see or hear if you do them your own or to hear your reactions when I see you back at school in January of 2021. I cannot wait to see you, friends. I'm missing you so much. I'll see you next year.